For more than 50 years, Tiberti construction has shaped the Las Vegas landscape. From schools to hotels to banks to reservoirs. You name it, Tiberti built it. The man behind the name knows the impact his hard work has had on this city.
Well, it makes me feel good. Truly, I kind of appreciate it, and I've had lots of people tell me that.
Galindo Angelo Tiberti is the son of a Colorado coal miner. And besides core values, his parents taught him some more important life lessons.
One thing that I know I took from him, I drink 2 glasses of wine every night.
Tiberti showed ambition at a very young age. He worked to put himself through school, first at Kalamazoo College.
I was good in math. I was mostly a better math student than anything.
Then at USC's School of Engineering.
Mainly because I wanted to do something outside. I was going to be either surveying or building or something outside. I didn't want to be tied down to a desk all the time.
At the time, he was working for the Corps of Engineers. It was 1941, and the United States was getting ready to enter World War II. The Army Air Corps needed a place to train pilots. The chosen location? Nellis Air Force Base. With that, J.A. Tiberti moved to Las Vegas for his first job.
I've got to tell you about that time I went and applied for an engineer's license, for a state certificate of professional engineer's license, and I got it, number 302 in the whole state. There's something like 28,000 now numbers, and I think there's only 2 left that have younger license than mine. The first place I lived was 604 South 4th Street. I took Tito down and showed him the house is still there.
It was a boarding house then, and it's where J.A. met his future wife, Marietta.
People ask me, how did you meet Marietta? I saw she moved in with me. They didn't move in like that, did they, in those years?
Together, they raised 6 children, 4 boys and 2 girls, before Marietta died in 1987.
She was a good mother, raised a good family.
And Tiberti grew a phenomenal business. He stayed with the Corps of Engineers until 1947, then ventured out on his own. In 1950, Tiberti Construction was born. While the company name is self-explanatory, how he reached it is a story in itself. It stemmed from a conversation with a friend.
And then he said, what are you going to name it? And I said, I was thinking of being a big shot. I said, worldwide construction and high-rise construction and, names of that type. And he looked at me a little while and he said, don't you like your name? And I said, what do you mean? He said, why don't you just call it J.A. Tiberti Construction Company? I said, okay. So that's how I named my company.
His first major project, 3 high-rise towers for the Air Force out at Indian Springs in preparation for an air show. And the company grew from there. Now the Tiberti organization features a construction unit, a real estate and investments division, a management company, and of course, the familiar fence division with the unmistakable signs.
In fact, one time we had a lady call and said, somebody stole my sign. Can I have another one? I said, sure. I said, but why would you want another sign? And she said, isn't it true? I understand that your association with the mafia, that sign keep people away from me.
There's no doubt J.A. Tiberti has seen a lot of change.
The city was small, 8,700 people when I came, in the whole valley.
He had a major hand in our city's master plan as a member of the Las Vegas Planning Commission for 25 years.
You learn a lot of being on a planning commission about people's wants and their desires.
You may recognize this well-traveled road, but you may not realize that J.A. Tiberti named it Industrial.
And one of the big beefs at the time was, why are you making a 6-lane highway out there? There's nobody out there. Dirt road. Well, I said, it's not for traffic, it's for trucks.
His business sits on that road now, and the area is just as he predicted. But sometimes it's hard to believe how far this town has come. Many a Sunday, his oldest son, Tito, takes him for a drive around the city to see what's being built.
You have to drive around once in a while to see what's going on.
Tiberti sees this kind of growth continuing if we work to provide a world-class education for our young people.
Town can't be much of anything without some type of good schooling, good university. And I, like when I started the first engineering school out here, I was the first one in line to hand them some money.
A good college breeds good business, and Tiberti has donated his share to make sure that happens. Surprisingly, though, in his over 60 years here in Las Vegas, J.A. Tiberti has never once put a dime in a slot machine.
When you bid and say that you're going to do this for this much money in this length of time, that's a gamble right there.
So who needs slot machines or table games?
Yeah, who needs that gamble?
In his eyes, his greatest contribution to this community is a more personal one.
Developed a good family, I can tell you that. My children and grandchildren have all turned out to be pretty darn good kids.
Tiberti hopes his integrity becomes his legacy.
I want them to tell me say that they thought I was honest and sincere about the things I did, and that I was a quality guy to do, and I put out quality work.